This is the greatest group of patriots ever put together.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
They need to stand down and not add to the violence.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right.
This is Donald Trump's Republican Party.
Stop inspiring people to commit potential acts of violence. Someone's going to get hurt, someone's going to get shot, someone's going to get killed.
January 6th, 2021. We witnessed an eruption, one that had been progressing over the past 4 years and since the days of the Obama administration, that, finally coming into fruition, was so unmatched we could no longer deny what had been in front of our eyes. The perceived loss of white power affects the nation's racial structure as a whole. People feel like they are losing something if whiteness no longer carries privilege and power. If there's racial equality, they feel like they've been denied what the country was supposed to be. The reverse racism card is often pulled by white people when people of color call out racism and discrimination, or create spaces for themselves that white people aren't a part of. The impulses behind the reverse racism argument seem to be a desire to prove that people of color don't have it that bad, that they're not the only ones being put at a disadvantage or targeted because of their race. Cases like Gratz versus Bollinger and Ritchie versus DiStefano went as far as the Supreme Court in an effort to affirm the white desire to be seen as oppressed without actually being oppressed, because of the belief that we are living in a post-racial America.
The white firefighters who passed the test but were not promoted, they filed a suit claiming that they were victims of race discrimination.
Both cases involved white people demanding that affirmative action has, in some way, infringed upon their rights, the rights that, as white people, they feel they have been guaranteed. So you're probably wondering how the most privileged group in America has come to feel as though they were losing power. America is becoming more multiracial. The demographics of our government officials, workforce, and population as a whole are changing. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the non-Hispanic white population is projected to shrink by nearly 19 million people by 2060. White people, both consciously and unconsciously, view this shift in demographics as their loss of status again as the dominant group. This is why the idea of making America great again is so appealing to white voters. The loss of white power is a powerful factor in the polarization of American politics. Even the smallest reminder that white people will become a minority increases conservatism and support for the Republican Party.
For him being a Mexican racist, what is that name? Gas.
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white.
Many Americans changed their perception of discrimination and racism after Obama became the nation's first black president. This belief that racial biases have softened, however, did not translate to positive feelings about policies that address racial disparities, according to the new University of Michigan study. In fact, opposition to affirmative action and immigration may have increased since 2008. When racial progress is made and perceived by many Americans from a variety of racial backgrounds, it may seem counterintuitive that opposition to affirmative action would increase. But this is exactly what happens. If the playing field is perceived to be more balanced than before, then the need for policies to address inequality is lessened. The issue is, white people are only perceiving this balance. The perceived loss of white power leads to the mainstreaming of white nationalism. Over the course of Donald Trump's presidency, the far-right fringe became a visible and influential force in American politics. Eruptions of extremist violence, including the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 and the January 6th Capitol insurrection, have made militant groups like the Proud Boys and the conspiracy theories like QAnon into household names. White people are united by the core set of beliefs about the threats of a demographic change, perceived hostility toward white Americans, and the necessity for extra-political, sometimes even violent, action to maintain their status. The perceived loss of white power is dividing our nation, and the January 6th riots were just the beginning.